Hello friends, welcome back to another crypto analysis. We'll cover my 4 predictions. We have Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum and XRP. So let's start with this Bitcoin chart. I urge you to watch the previous video so you have additional information. This is a beautiful chart. Everything that I predicted has come true. Today is the 12th of January, so it belongs to this red circle, which also had the 11th as a potential very volatile day. But what we really saw on the 11th is a complete range day where the price basically did nothing. It completely stayed in range. That's something that can happen whenever we have this pattern right here where the day is shared by opposite energies. Most of the times that means volatility, but sometimes it can happen that it's going to be like a complete nothing burger day because both red and green energies are going to be completely mixed and equalized, right? So that's what we got for yesterday, and today we managed to avoid at least slightly a massive crash. It's still a very volatile day. I mean, it's not really volatile, but at least in the last couple hours in this kind of range of the time of the day was some slight volatility. It was beginning to look like a potential uptrend, but it really didn't play out. Anything can happen in the next few hours, but I really doubt that we can see something really crazy. But we see that for this day was kind of a red energy program for this day. We somehow managed to avoid this. It's very slightly on the red, very slightly. It's basically a yellow day. The price is in an identical position to the opening when the day first opens. So it's good news that we have managed to avoid these powerful corrections. So far in this red box that we have here from the 9th to the 11th, we only really saw the 9th of January as another downtrend. The lowest point on that day was 91, something like that. Kind of recovers, but when it recovers, it's not really that high. So for the rest of the days in this range, we have managed to avoid this. The day of the 10th was very volatile as well, but not really a downtrend, just like I told you with this green circle. So it managed to act like some sort of support, like some sort of breathing room for this specific range of days from the 10 to the 11, which is very good because look at this. We also had the 11 and the 12. So the 11th was one of the most concerning days, and I really liked that it really didn't go full crash. But for the next days, there's a potential of very bullish days. 13 or 14, we can see that it's going to be a powerful uptrend, very powerful uptrend. I'm thinking it could be 5%, 4%, something like that. So if we go by those range, we can see that a partial recovery from this crash, this massive crash that began on the 7th of January, just like I told you, it will happen. So maybe it can go back to the previous levels before that crash, maybe on the 6th or 5th of January, something like that, if that's a 5% range, a 5% uptrend. If it's not, if it's lower, well, you can just expect a little bit lower. And if it's really high, I mean, it can happen, but I really, for some reason, I don't think that is very likely. It could go even higher than this, okay, from the highest level of the month. So that's what we can expect for the next few days. After that will come a range of days where it's going to be very volatile. It could go either way, especially in the first 2 days, 15 to 16. But after that, especially on the 17th, we see some potential danger for Bitcoin at the very least. But we know that if Bitcoin goes down, it will tend to drag most of their cryptocurrencies as well. So be aware of that. Be careful when trading Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrency on these days, because it will be very volatile. Maybe if you're doing scalping, it can be very fruitful. But if you're not doing that, if you're for the long-term investment, I will generally just avoid these very volatile days. Now let's get over to the Solana chart. Solana is really not doing that much. I mean, it's from the 10th of January, it's like in a complete range right here. Some days are more volatile than others, but other than that, it's not really extremely different from Bitcoin. I mean, there was some very potential for corrections these days. We're really, again, really only the 9th, maybe parts of the 10th of January. Yeah, on the 10th maybe. But other than that, we didn't really see much on the 11th and today, which is again good news, especially for Solana, which is taking a toll right here with these massive corrections, massive crashes. So Bitcoin, Solana is, at least it's not really crashing all the way south, right? So it's kind of holding its own right here on these 2 days. These days, 12 was supposed to be a very volatile day, but again, some days it can happen where this pattern right here, it will be more like a range day, okay, like a nothing burger. So don't get me wrong, there's some volatility today, but it's not really deciding. I mean, the price is in the exact same position where it first opened, so there's no big difference. And for the next days, again, just like Bitcoin, we can expect some powerful, this range of days is going to be very volatile. But if Bitcoin leads the way, well, Bitcoin shows that it could be powerful uptrends on the, I think was the 13 and 14. Yeah, the 13 and 14, maybe that can be replicated to some extent on Solana, especially on the 13, I think. But yeah, that's what maybe Solana can show. But the range for potential danger in Solana, which is almost guaranteed, is right here on the 17 to the 18. Be very careful around these days. I predict a powerful correction, powerful meaning 5%, 4% or more. Now, for the Ethereum chart, which was the best looking one out of the 4 crypto predictions that I have, nothing really can be said from these days. I mean, this range of this volatile range, this is replicated in all except one of the cryptocurrencies that I am analyzing for this month. So maybe it's just really not worth giving it much time. I mean, everything that I just said for Bitcoin and Solana can be applied to Ethereum to some extent, because there's really not much difference right here. For example, the 10 on Ethereum was very volatile, more than the other cryptocurrencies that we just saw. But it's leading nowhere, basically. It's like a yellow day with lots of volatility where the price goes up and down, and ends on a very similar position. Okay, nothing really to say that day. On the 11th, we see kind of the same. On the 12th, we see kind of the same. So it's not really worth talking about this, but everything that I just said, at least for Ethereum, can also be applied here, because it's showing some very volatile days. Next up, we have the 13 as a red day for Ethereum, which is kind of crazy because all of the cryptos are showing it as green. So maybe Ethereum might not have a correction on that day, but rather it will be not as a powerful uptrend, maybe. The 14 and the 15 are also on green, so this corresponds to other cryptocurrencies. And from the 15 to the 16 can be a range of powerful uptrends. Okay, so if I were to say, I will only select the 15 because I am not really that confident about the 16, because after that comes more volatility, maybe undecided volatility, and there's a danger zone right here from the 17 to the 19. Okay, so that's what Ethereum is showing to me. And let's take a look at the final chart, which is XRP, which is the only one really who is really giving us some surprises right now. Okay, so I told you that XRP was going to be volatile, very volatile, because it's the one that has the most yellows. So I told you that because of that, we see that the price was going to be in many days undecided, going up and down. But today and the last day, which is the 11th of January, we see that a powerful, very powerful uptrend consolidated right here. So this one started yesterday and went even higher on the peak. I think, no, was the entire day of the 11th. And for the 12th was basically kind of another kind of volatile range. Okay, so we see the price ends up, or at least is on the current position, very, very similar to the starting one of that day. So for the 11th of January, this crypto chart for XRP showed that from the 10 to the 11 could be very volatile days. Now the 10th of January was an uptrend, not that really volatile, but for the 11th we see very, very powerful volatility, which is the exact range that, the exact position that we see right here. So at the highest we saw 11%. That's a very powerful impulse for XRP. I really thought that this range of days will be very tending towards a correction, because we see there's this box right here which has from the 10 to the 13. So we avoided this from the 10 for the 10 of January, for the 15, from the 11, from the 12, and there's only one day left. So maybe if we're very lucky, we can avoid this as well tomorrow. But if we're not, we can see corrections starting tomorrow, which could prolong to 14 and 15. So there's the potential of seeing consecutive red days. There's that potential right there. After that, we see that 15 to the 16, we have potential powerful impulses, powerful pumps, which again, look at this, guys. One way to really maximize all the gains and to guarantee all of this, which by the way, every chart has 90% accuracy at the very least. So one way to guarantee even more opportunities is to see which days are shared by all other crypto charts. Okay, so would you see that, for example, right here, XRP is showing the 15 as green. If I remember correctly, Ethereum also shows the 15 as green right here. We see that Bitcoin has, I think, if it's not green, it's on yellow. Yeah, it's on yellow. And we see that Solana also has it, I think, on the green. Also on yellow, okay. So we see that most of these charts show that 15 is going to be a green day, or at the very least a yellow day, which, by the way, yellow means volatility. It can go either way, but it's not as decisive as a red day, for example. So we see that the overall trend for that day is going to be greenish. It's going to be bullish. It's going to be an impulse, almost guaranteed for all crypto markets. So that is one very potential, it's one tip that I am teaching you guys on how to maximize all the gains with my crypto charts. Okay, this doesn't work on any other method or form or prediction or of trading analysis. This only works for me right here on my crypto charts. So yeah, that's basically all I have for you today. I'll continue to update these crypto charts as always, and I'll see you guys next time. But before I go, I want to remind you all that you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment on this channel if you like the content that I'm bringing to you. Okay, so having said that, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.